I always love it when we talk about football.
Well,
it is one of my absolute favorite joys in life.
I've said it once, I'll say it again. Everything I know about high school football, I learned from a television show called Friday Night Lights.
That's right. That's a good show.
It is. There's a lot of like, oh, come on moments, but no, it's great. But I have zero experience with this, so this is all.
No, me either. Oh my God. Hi, Jillian Bezavali.
Hello, Patrick Hines.
What are we talking about today, girl?
Welcome to our bonus episodes. This is our 9th one of the year.
Wow, how are we only on 9?
I don't know.
We got a lot to go.
We have a lot to go. But I love doing these.
I know, these are good.
So this is a new series that we're starting.
Oh, is it? It's a new series?
It's a series that we haven't done as a bonus. But
Okay.
this is a very highly requested series. It's called Murder Under the Friday Night Lights. And this episode in particular was also highly requested from our listeners.
It's funny. I was making a joke about how much I love talking about football, but like every time I meet people, they're like, you guys have to do more sports ones. They love it when we do the sports.
I know. This one
Unfortunately,
this
doesn't really have to do with sports, right? You're like, did you even watch the episode? Because this does not have to do with sports.
No.
Not really.
More than any other event, high school football unites our community.
Everyone played football, or everyone tried playing football. We were always competitive. We were always winning. But then the truth started coming out. Everything kind of went right downhill.
911, where's emergency? If you could send the cops down to the baseball field behind the laundromat, the boys that beat them up are down there.
People were divided. I realized that I couldn't trust anybody.
Hey, these are the football players. They're allowed to do whatever they want. They're just untouchable.
That might be good, that might be bad, but it's the way it is in Schuylkill County.
So we're in Shenandoah, Pennsylvania, where they love football.
Yeah.
They love it there.
We're in Schuylkill County, and I know Schuylkill because I follow a really wholesome TikTok account, the Schuylkill Conservation District, and all these like little stuffed animals take you on journeys into the woods, and like
Stop it!
So sweet.
What kind of stuffed animals?
Like a bat, or like animals that would live in those woods, and they like tell you about their habitat, or tell you like don't touch this or do that.
Oh
It's
my God,
very sweet
really?
and wholesome and calming. So if you're looking for a calming presence, I don't know why you would. That's an account I follow.
Well, they love football there. I said, love what you love. This is not my journey.
Yeah, I'll get into it later, but I really struggle with the adults and the hero worship of a bunch of teenagers.
Totally.
Like, I don't get it.
And this is not the first time we've seen it.
No. Crystal is here, Crystal Dillman. We will learn that she is our victim's fiance. Our victim is named Luis Ramirez.
Yeah.
She tells us,
I've lived in Shenandoah since I was about 7 years old. Everybody got along, and like it's a small town vibe where everybody knows everybody. It's Friday night football. Sunday's supposed to be church and then with family.
Sunday is church, then family. I was like, I'm guessing we're not going to drag brunch in Shenandoah.
no. And it's weird for a bunch of racists, they're just going to church, and I'm like, oh, that does kind of track.
I get, yeah, sometimes.
It's also a
not
big...
all churches, but yeah.
No, not all churches, but a lot of people like hiding behind that.
Yeah.
It's also a big block party town.
Okay.
But this is like, the block party we learn about is like a carnival.
Yeah, so I said here, they're like, people in Shenandoah love these block parties. Churches have them, fire companies have them.
Right.
I said, are block parties my party barges? Because I don't have any interest.
But this is, I don't...
Sounds loud.
I don't know, but this is a carnival. There are like rides
Right.
and games.
It does seem like a block party was a cute idea that's grown and grown over the years or something.
Right. And like this guy Daniel is like, look, the Polish Americans always bring a good block party. I'm like, Danny.
They've got the pierogies and the haluskis.
Yeah,
Well, I was just in Pittsburgh, and first of all, Pittsburgh does Pickleburg. Are you aware of this?
Ooh.
It was like the day or two after my show. They're like, can you stay for Pickleburg? I'm like, if I could move anything,
Oh,
I would
man.
stay for Pickleburg.
My mouth just started watering.
Pickle ice cream, pickle vodka. They've got pickle everything.
What's
Pickleburg.
with the pickle ice cream? Is it awesome?
I don't know. I didn't get to try it. But
Oh my
like, they
God.
love their pickles, but they were trying to explain to me what pierogies are. I don't really know.
Oh, pierogies are good.
Are they?
Yeah,
They
they're just-
sound delicious.
It's like cheese, and there's not a vegetable in sight.
Oh, wonderful. I want to go to
Um,
pierogiburg.
Pickle chips. I've been telling you about. Not pickle chips that are breaded and fried.
No,
Yes to those.
but
potato chips that are dill pickle flavored.
Yes, well, I
get
want like
into it.
a pickle martini. Like, give me
Right.
all the pickle booze. That sounds great.
Oh my God.
I know. There was a whole thing where we were doing pickle backs for a while. Like, you do a shot of something and take like a pickle back.
Yeah, I never got into that. Someone told me once that it was also like a diuretic. So it's just like all the negative stuff about drinking that
Oh my
drinking
God.
does to your stomach. But I could be totally wrong about that.
I saw this other TikTok where it was like, when your pickle jar is empty, don't throw out the pickle juice. You take your string cheese and you put it into the pickle jar and let it sit for a night.
Let me tell you something. I have both string cheese and a jar of pickles in my fridge.
Yeah, it wasn't as good as I was promised, but it was interesting.
I'll try
it.
And I have those pickle chips in the pantry.
I'll
Like,
try
I'm
it.
into it.
I know.
Like,
I
let's give it a
love
whirl.
it. Thank you, Pickleberg. Girl, Function is back. Now, look, I really use Function, and I use it because Function is the only health platform that gives you access to the kind of data most people never see and the insights to actually take action. Girl, I'm getting older. I really wanted to monitor my testosterone, but there are so many other things I can see on the dashboard. I've never seen anything like this.
And the thing is, like, medicine is always changing, science is always developing. So there are things that maybe you thought you knew like a few years ago, even.
Yeah.
This is all about keeping you up to date with all of the information.
Exactly. And girl, I'm all about like upping my immunity. So I just had my routine annual physical. This is a true story. And I got my lab results back and it was like, a handful of things. But then I go to my Function dashboard to see everything else. The thing about Function is that routine physicals can skip this data. So I just got my routine physical back. And when I got my blood work, my blood results, I only had like a handful of things that they had tested for. And that was why I went to Function, because they test over 160 biomarkers. And we're talking hormones to toxins to inflammation and stress. You can also access a multi-region MRI and CT scans, all tracked in one secure place over time. And it's so easy to read and use. I love it.
I didn't even know there were 160 biomarkers. I didn't even know what a biomarker was until about a minute ago.
We just got smarter. Thank you, Function.
Yeah. Thanks, Function.
So fam, learn more and join using our link.
The first 1,000 get a $100 credit toward their membership.
Visit functionhealth.com/TCO or use gift code TCO100 at sign up to own your health.
That's right. We're owning our health, everyone. All 160 biomarkers. Let's go.
160.
So this is literally a carnival, not a block party, but whatever you gotta say. Because Daniel, he's the QB, the
Justice for
quarterback.
carnivals, right?
And he's like,
There was a mix of people. There was, whites, black, Mexicans. Everyone was getting along, having a good time. Little fun and games, bingo, stuff like that. Booze.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, but everyone is there. All the high school football players are there. They're all getting drunk in the woods before heading to the block party.
Yeah. So it's 10 o'clock and Daniel is going home because that's his curfew. I would love that this kid is a curfew follower. This is also the luckiest break of his entire life.
Yes.
Because you can't tell me he would not have participated.
Look, so he goes up the street, but he didn't, so we're not here to drag him.
100%, but like it's a crowd mentality thing more than anything else. So it's 10 p.m. He's going home. He's walking up the street. He sees a group of his like fellow football buddies walking the other way towards Line Street Park, which they say it's not a fancy park, just 2 basketball courts and a swing set.
So Crystal, the fiance of Luis Ramirez, our victim, she tells us about that day. So she and Luis spent all day together with their 2 kids. They were in town doing family stuff. They came home. Crystal put the kids to bed. Luis goes out to meet up with his friend. Luis calls Crystal on his way home. They spoke.
Yes.
But after they hung up, Crystal had to call him back for something. We don't know what, but it's one of those things where it's like, oh shit, I got to call him back.
Yeah.
And by the time she did, it starts going straight to voicemail. Oh no.
Yeah, and she's not really thinking anything of it. Remember, Crystal's like from this town. Like bad things don't happen there.
And
whatever.
he's with a friend.
Yeah.
And she like, okay, whatever. She'll talk to him later.
But then we cut to 11:40 p.m. We hear an absolutely frantic 911 call. And it's just the Good Samaritan who saw a kid getting beat up by a group of kids. And as the kids are running away, she ran out to like help him. And we meet her. Her name is Eileen. I'm absolutely obsessed with her.
Yeah, she's like, we need an ambulance, like now.
Yeah.
She was inside. Because she tells us she was sitting inside. She hears what she describes as very loud screaming. She looks out the window. Again, sometimes nosy neighbors are the way to be. She looked out the window, sees a crowd of people beating someone up. Also, what is wrong with you?
I know.
Like, unless they're a Nazi, in which case, keep on punching.
Yes.
What is it in you that makes you want to beat somebody
Can
up
I
like
tell
that.
you that I used to work with a woman at a restaurant who did something like this kind of happened to.
Holy shit.
She told this story about how she was just she was dating this girl on campus's boyfriend or like her ex-boyfriend or whatever. This woman found my friend in a 7-Eleven in their college town, threw hot tea in her face, wrestled her into a car.
Oh my God.
Drove her to the college campus to beat her up on the quad as like a crowd of 50 people circled and watched and nobody helped her.
Holy shit.
And I can tell you that I met other people eventually who were in the 50, like this really happened. And like I met people who didn't help her. Isn't that insane?
Why didn't they?
I don't know. I don't know if they were afraid. I don't know if they were like, fight. They just wanted to, like, but like, this shit is great. And that's what I'm saying about Daniel. Like, you seem like a good guy, but if you had been there, I doubt that you would have been the one dissenting voice.
All right, I was going to save this for the end.
Okay.
There's another documentary about this case called Shenandoah, which is the town that came out in 2012. It's on Vimeo. You can watch it. I watched it today. I skimmed through it today because I discovered it kind of late into my prep and then had to leave to record this. So they talked to Brian Scully. And we'll get into who he is later.
Yeah.
But they ask him about this. We're going to go through this whole entire story and then I'll tell you what he says to the filmmaker when the filmmaker asks him some pretty direct questions.
Great.
That's all.
So Eileen is saying to us, as she's running out to help them, the crowd is running away. She hears thuds, and it was her that made the 911 call.
But it's so, like, Eileen is so awesome because she goes over to Luis and she says, I knelt down to him.
He's
She goes,
unconscious
"Oh, God,
and unresponsive.
yeah, she's like, oh, God, it was horrible. And then Crystal gets this horrible phone call, like Luis's best friend calls her.
And he told me to get down there right away. I kept saying, why? What is going on? And he's like, he's on the ground. He won't wake up. And at first I thought they were joking around. And he's like, no, I promise. Get down here. Get down here.
They're like, no, girl, get down here.
And she's like, I just spoke to him.
Yeah.
So AJ, the DA, is here.
Yes.
He's awesome. He says that Officer Jason Hayes and Lieutenant Bill Moyer come to the scene. I want to stop on this.
Yeah.
You can immediately tell that these guys suck. Do you want to know why?
Why?
Because all the images we see of them are like still frames from old videos and they're not flattering.
No, they're like with their mouths open.
The photo of Jason Hayes they
Yeah.
used, he looks like a fucking idiot.
I know.
He's making the face people make when they're trying to make like an idiot face.
Uh-huh.
He's squinting. He's like, mouth open. Like it's not
Yeah.
a good photo of
No.
Jason. It's a photo of something else and Jason is in the background or to
Yes.
the side. And
Yes.
then they like looking like a confused derp. And then they zoom in on that. And that's the photo they're using
Yes.
10 million times.
It's absolutely true.
And there's a reason for this. And the minute you see a photo like that, you're like, oh,
Bad
we found
guy.
some more bad guys.
Exactly.
Great.
Which is also like terrible news because they're the ones responding to the scene.
They're the cops.
Yeah.
So Eileen says while she was waiting there with Luis, which I think is a very, very kind thing for her to do.
Yeah.
People like not helping the fight take fucking notes.
Right.
The cops get there and she's like, hey, so can you expedite the ambulance because
This
like,
guy's been lying on the ground basically dead for quite a while now.
and like I made it really clear on the phone
Yeah.
that needed to happen, but that hasn't happened yet and you're here now. So
Right.
can you like pull rank and just make that happen?
And we heard the 911 call. She was absolutely frantic.
And so they didn't do anything. There's like no urgency here at all. Also, in case you didn't know, Luis Ramirez, not a white guy.
Exactly.
So that's why this episode is called Game of Privileges.
Yes. So Luis is taken to the hospital.
Luis is in very serious condition. They're trying to do anything to save him, which included removing a portion of his skull to ease the swelling on his brain.
I mean, it's really
Because
fucking bad.
they were kicking him in the head.
Yeah. They beat this man to death.
To death.
And it is absolutely, again, what is it in you, racism, hatred, whatever,
Yeah.
that makes you, I just can't physically understand
No.
why or how you could do this to somebody.
Yeah.
Unless they're a Nazi.
It was.
In which case,
Yeah.
we should all actually just be doing some bicep curls
just in case we
in
encounter a
case.
Nazi. Yeah, I agree. But Crystal says that like she gets to the hospital, she realizes how serious this is. Kind of. She says Lewis survives the surgery. She goes into the recovery room to be with him. He's completely unresponsive to her. And this is where the seriousness of the situation really hits her. And she's talking to him saying the kids just want him to come home. Like, please, you have to live. But the doctors tell her that he's got no brain activity. They're going to take him off life support. And she says, I felt like it was a matter of minutes. Like he was alive a minute ago and
just
now
on the phone.
he's gone.
They were just on the phone. He was with his friend.
Yeah.
What happened?
What happened?
And so she says like it was the hardest moment of her life and she's like sitting with him and holding his hand and talking to him and like
Yeah.
even though she says like he was there but he wasn't there, but still in that moment like Crystal just has these last few minutes with him. Where
Yeah.
she's just saying like, we love you. And
we never get into this, but it's like, as a parent, you think like she's got to go home and tell the kids.
I know.
You know, she's got to go home and then live the rest of her life without her partner.
And it's not like, it's a tragedy, but it's not like a freak accident where
Right.
like he was in a car accident, there was black ice he didn't see, or, you know, like
Yes.
an air conditioner fell out of a, well, you know what I mean?
A piano fell on his head.
You know, like
Yeah.
it's not like, it's tragic, but it's not like, oh my God.
Right.
These teenagers beat
him to death. Yeah.
So can we get these sons of bitches? Like, enough.
Yeah, Daniel, the one who was like walking home, he says
The next day, I had about 50 missed calls when I woke up and 89 million text messages. Hey, what's going on? What did you do last night? Like this and that. A couple text messages I received that morning was, hey, somebody died last night. Did you kill somebody?
did you kill somebody? Is what these other football people are saying to him.
Teenagers.
Yeah.
We get on-screen text 2 days after the fight. I take issue with this wording. Fight.
Fight. Yeah, totally.
It sounds to me like Luis was jumped and beaten to death, but
right.
Fight? Like,
totally.
No, man.
Yeah.
No. So 2 days after Luis was killed, AJ the lawyer learns that everyone involved was on the Shenandoah high school football team.
Yeah.
Derek is the quarterback. Brandon is the wide receiver. You know what? Fuck it. We're doing full names. Derek Donchak is the quarterback. Brandon Pekarski is the wide receiver. Brian Scully is the running back. Colin Walsh is the wide receiver. These are juniors and seniors in high school. They are talented athletes.
Yeah.
And total racist pieces of shit. But it's amazing how you can have the tools to like do great things and then waste them completely.
Oh my God, that is so well
They're
articulated.
16 and 17 years old.
Right, they're like the best football players in high school football. All of them probably have big futures.
Like they have potential. They're going to do fine for the foreseeable future. They're super privileged and they throw it away.
Yeah, well, and not only that, everyone's going to protect them. So we hear that even on scene, the cops are saying things like,
knowing that the individuals involved were a major part of the football team was going to be impacted very severely. The guy died, so we thought they were going to get charged with, a murder charge or something like that.
We heard that after Ramirez died. One of the responding police officers said, "There goes the football season."
They go, there goes the football season.
Yes.
Which is horrifying. But I also think, and I'm going to say it again, like it's weird for grown-ass adults to care this much about high school football.
Yes.
And maybe it's because I don't know it. Like but even watching Friday Night Lights, like I don't mean to make a joke about it, but it's kind of like, wow, the boosters are super invested. I know it's your alma mater. Like there's part of me that's like, it's part of like the community of the town.
But it's what you were saying earlier. Them being so invested is weird because it gives these kids a position of celebrity, a position of above the law.
They're 16 years old.
They're 16-year-old kids who literally know they can beat a guy to death in the middle of a park and they're not going to get in trouble.
Right.
Like they did it because they knew they could.
And we see like in the documentary that I'll tell you about later, like a lot of the townspeople.
Yeah.
And there's these like 60-year-old men obsessed with like 16-year-old football players.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a reason why things like this don't happen everywhere. It happens in a place like this by these people because they are told they can do anything. They are untouchable.
I also feel
so I agree with you. Like it is like parents, your responsibility is to raise good people.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I also kind of feel this way about Cobra Kai. Like these old men care way too much about the after-school martial arts program.
Oh, is that show?
It's Machio.
Oh,
it's the Karate Kid. It's
right.
like, and I'm not talking to you, Machio. I'm talking about the bad guys, even the guys who are bad. In
not
the
Machio,
Karate
never
Kid.
you, not you, never Machio.
But it's like it's the after-school martial arts program.
Yes.
Bro.
Somebody, who was I talking to the other day was like, Jillian's Machio is good. It's really
Hey,
good.
we just watched My Cousin Vinny again.
I shot the clerk. I shot the clerk. Girl, Everyday Dose is back. I am obsessed. I've been drinking it for the last 2 weeks. And I got to tell you, like, I'm an early riser. My favorite thing to do in the morning is have my first cup of coffee. But I would, like, definitely struggle with, like, not feeling great, a little bit of, like, bloating and discomfort after. And I got to tell you, the promise was with Everyday Dose, I would feel and look differently. And I totally do. Bloating is reduced and my face feels way less puffy.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, a lot of people, too, I have definitely felt this. You have heard it if I have too much caffeine. Like,
yes.
I don't like how it necessarily makes me feel. I don't like the jitters. I don't like the crash.
Yes.
So Everyday Dose has this classic coffee taste that you love, but without the nasty side effects. And without the side effects, you're also getting more benefits.
Well, and that's the whole thing. So what makes Everyday Dose different from like your regular coffee is that they offer coffee that does more. So the coffee is delicious. And get this, Coffee Plus features 100% Arabica coffee enhanced with functional ingredients for smooth energy, calm focus, gut health, and skin support. Imagine like you're just drinking your coffee like you have every day for the last 40 years, but now like you're getting these benefits out of it. I'm obsessed.
Yeah, and it's not just that you're getting benefits, like coffee with benefits, like friends with benefits, but you're also not getting the negatives.
Exactly.
That's like almost more valuable to me, honestly.
Yeah. Coffee Plus is available in 2 varieties, fam. We've got mild roast and medium roast.
Yeah, and the ingredients undergo third-party testing to ensure purity and potency, so it's free from mold and rich in active compounds. I'm all about it.
And honestly, it just tastes like great coffee to start your day.
Exactly.
So fam, exciting news. You can now find Everyday Dose in Target stores across the country.
Celebrate with a buy one, get one deal. Just buy any 2 Everyday Dose products at a Target store near you, and they'll pay you back for one.
Visit everydaydose.com/obsessed for more details.
There you go. Drink up, everybody. Feel good.
So Raquel is here. I'm obsessed. She's this woman who is like tatted and pierced, and I love her.
The first time I heard about Luis Ramirez probably was over the police scanner. In Schuylkill County, everybody has their scanners. Police will call in and, you know, they'll hear it over the radio, and that's kind of how rumors spread.
I've actually know people who like how police scanners were fun.
I had some friends from New Jersey, and they would like drive around and listen to the police scanner and like then go to the local 7-Eleven and like see who got picked up.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, because you're always in a car in New Jersey.
I guess that's true.
You
Yeah,
know?
like if you lived in a town full of like your like friends from high school, and you're like, I wonder what if John's gonna get arrested this weekend.
Who were the women? Was this the Lost Women of Highway 20? They had their code names on the scanner.
Oh, that was on the CB radio.
Yes.
Those
Yes.
there's a lot of like long haul truckers and stuff love podcasts.
Yeah.
Like but also the CB radio because they can like chat with. Yes, it
had-
was the Lost Women of Highway 20.
Those badass women, and then that fucking creep was like, "Can I come?"
Yeah.
And be creepy, and they were like, "No."
Totally.
Some stupid man like ruining the girlhood of it all, of being like,
Totally.
"Hey," and they had their cute little names. Anyway.
Come on.
So Luis Ramirez was born in Mexico. He was kind. He was funny. Crystal says he tried to let everything just flow off his back. Like he always had a big smile.
Yeah.
Luis is the birth father of Crystal's 2 youngest kids, but she also had an older daughter, and she says that Luis raised her from the time she was 2 months old.
Like just an awesome fucking guy.
Yeah.
Just like a really good guy.
And Crystal is very honest about this town, Shenandoah, that
Yeah.
it's an old coal mining town. It's about 1 square mile, and it used to be all white, but the non-white, this is 2008, by the way.
Yeah.
This is it's 2008. So more things change, the more they stay the same and get worse.
Yeah.
Non-white people are moving in.
And I guess you could say there was some tension there.
Shenandoah is very big on things staying the same. And with people coming in from other countries, I guess a lot of them took it as if they were kind of like taking over.
White people, so fucking many of you need to get a goddamn grip.
Yeah.
It's enough already.
Yeah. And especially like living in the times that we're living in right now, it is so bad.
It's so bad.
And not only do you need to get a grip, but like you need to stand up. And we are seeing a lot of examples of it. We are seeing a lot of like red communities that voted for Trump standing up and not allowing ICE agents to like take people and throw them away.
Great.
Like we really are, like people are standing, not enough.
Well,
Everybody
thanks for
needs
that
to.
now.
Yeah. I mean, better late than never, but
yeah.
like it is, I mean, like we all just need to be good to each other.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
So the police didn't interview the football players right away. I mean, there's a game on Friday. Of course they didn't.
But also they want to give the football players an opportunity to get their fucking story straight.
Because here's what happened. So there's 4 of them, right?
Yeah.
So what happened was they were interviewed days after the murder, and they were interviewed one at a time with a lot of time in between each interview.
Yeah.
Which is plenty of time to meet up and figure out stories based on who said what and when.
Yes.
So let's talk about Brian Scully. He was interviewed many days after the murder, and he says, look, Luis and another guy were on swings at the park. There was, quote, a verbal exchange between Luis and the football players. Brian Scully describes Luis as, quote, irate and out of control, and then attacks them. And so the football players beat him to death, quote, in self-defense.
And by the way, Scully says
Ramirez was the instigator, that there was no kicking, There were no racial slurs uttered during the incident, and lastly, that there was no alcohol imbibed by the teens that night.
I know nobody asked me that, but I'm just letting you know.
And there was no kicking.
Right, and no kicking.
That's important.
Yeah.
And like, I'm like, so where is the friend that Luis was with? Like, you guys beat Luis to death, quote, in self-defense, but the friend got away unscathed? Like,
Right.
That's not what happened. You jumped him.
It's interesting because in the reenactment, the friend is a girl. I don't know if that's true to what it was,
right?
But in the reenactment, it's a woman that he's on the swings with, and I don't know if that plays into this at all. But like, where is that friend? Like, why aren't we hearing from that friend?
Right, and it's also like you just jumped him.
Exactly.
You saw a brown guy and you jumped him.
Exactly.
Like that's what happened. So everyone in town loves the team. Like there's a big sense of community, loving following the team. That is all fine.
Yeah.
But when you start to say things like everyone looks up to them and protects them, and using the word hero when it's a 16-year-old who can like really throw and or catch a ball.
But this is why this happened. These kids, they're living in a town where probably like their parents are racist and don't like the influx of non-white people.
Yes.
And they hear them talk, so they feel emboldened when they see one to do something about it. They think not only are their parents going to support them, but the town's going to support them. They're going to be heroes.
Well, because Eileen, our witness and 911 caller, and she's the one who stayed with Luis, she said, she was like,
everyone kept on saying, oh, it was just a fight gone bad. And saying, well, he didn't belong here, you know. And if he wasn't here, he wouldn't be dead today. That's exactly what they were saying.
Luis didn't belong here in the first place.
Exactly.
So if he wasn't here, he wouldn't be dead today, which is just like, holy shit.
Yep.
So like that tells you everything you need to know, right? Like because and one of the quotes is like, well, he was an illegal immigrant. And I'm like, why does that matter?
Right.
I don't give a shit if he's documented or not.
Right.
Why on earth does this mean like, well,
right.
like he had it coming for 4 teenagers to beat him to death? Like, what is wrong with you?
No, and it just shows you that these kids are being raised in a culture both at home and just in their town to, like I've been saying, to know they can get away with anything, but also that they should do something like this. Like, that it's their responsibility to do something like this.
Because he's, quote, not from here and because he's not white. Actually, if you're interested in rights that you or someone else has as an immigrant, there are resources for you. You can go to immigrantjustice.org or ilrc.org, which is the Immigrant Legal Resource Center. I'm just saying, in case that's something that appeals to you.
Yeah.
And you'd like to donate or pass that resource along, there you go. So we're back with fiance Crystal, and she's like, yeah, I didn't know who any of those football players are because I'm an adult. She's like, they were way younger than me. Like that was like not her scene.
Yeah. But we also learned too that there were multiple witnesses. I thought it was just like Eileen, but there were multiple witnesses.
Multiple.
And there were multiple 911 calls. And, you know, AJ, the assistant district attorney, is saying that the investigation showed that what the players were saying about the no racial slurs and no alcohol was clearly not true. And that the players' versions of event does not align with what these unbiased witnesses saw.
Especially the no kicking.
Right.
The boys were like, and there was definitely no kicking. There's no kicking at all.
Right.
These multiple 911 calls, people are calling because of the kicking.
Exactly.
Like, oh, someone's getting beaten up, but they were like, oh, this man is on the ground and they're kicking him over and over again.
And they're saying it's like 6-on-1. Like they are beating this person to death.
Like all the witnesses describe in great detail that Luis was on the ground.
Yeah.
And these athletes who can kick, by the way.
Yes. I mean, that's what they do.
Kicking him.
Yes.
But this is important because there was one final kick.
And they were about to leave. At that point, it's over. And a football player, in what was described variously as like a soccer-type kick or a football punt, came up and kicked Ramirez in the head as hard as he could.
Quote, a soccer kick or a football punt.
Yeah.
The medical examiner says that it was this kick that resulted in Luis's death.
And not just that, they were walking away, and whoever the kicker was came back to do it.
Because this kick came when Luis was on the ground motionless, which is just definitively not self-defense.
Right.
So that is violence for the sake of violence, and AJ the lawyer is like, oh, that shows malice, which means this is murder.
Yeah. And just to put a human face on it, we go back to Crystal, and she's like, when I found out how Luis died, I had nightmares. And she's like, I struggle with it to this day. This was 2008.
Right. Everything about it. So the thing is like, okay, so which one of the kids did this? Like they all beat him up, but who delivered that final fatal kick?
Yeah.
So Ariel Garcia is a witness, and she wrote a written statement to the police that whoever kicked Luis in the head while he was on the ground was wearing, quote, blue shoes.
Yes.
Eddie Nye, remember Eddie Nye, because he's going to come back. He's a witness. On his 911 call, he said that the teens were running towards the park. And he says, send the cops down to the baseball field behind the laundromat. Like, that's where the boys are.
And they're cornered. You'll pick them. Because remember, the players were not interviewed until like a long time after this. And it was also haphazard. And like the cops would say like, well, we didn't know where they were, but they were told where they were.
And Eddie Nye says, we got them cornered. They're not going anywhere.
Yes.
And then eventually the kids just like ran or whatever because the cops never showed
Yeah.
up.
And Eileen, again, she's our witness who came running out to be with Lewis. She's saying there was no urgency from the officers. There was no lights and sirens. And she too says, if you go down by the baseball field, you'll catch all of them. They ran over there. That's where they are right now. And she's just watching the cops sit there, not helping Lewis and not trying to catch the killers.
Right. One of the cops who was just like, oh, just wait here, whatever. Turns out Jason Hayes, the idiot from the picture, Detective fucking Doofus.
He was a de facto stepfather of one of the suspects, Brandon Pekarsky. Officer Hayes was involved in a relationship with Brandon Pekarsky's mother. And then we had learned that the suspects had a really good relationship with Officer Moyer. They had known him for years because they played football with Officer Moyer's son.
Of course, the cops are going to have good relationships with the local hero football
Well,
players.
his son, Bill Moyer's son, is on the football team.
Exactly.
And so, but again, this guy, Jason Hayes, the doofus from the picture, again, like the stupidest, what? He is the de facto stepfather of the fancy quarterback.
Right.
This is incredibly important.
Yeah.
It's a conflict of interest.
Yes.
So it's racism and nepotism.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
So the DA's office learned that the night of the murder, the cops spoke to all of the suspects together at one of the suspects' homes. And that suspect is the star quarterback.
Yeah. And like the ADA, to put a fine point on it, he's saying like he's blown away by just how improper this is.
Yes.
Like even we are not lawyers or cops, but we know you separate everybody, you get because otherwise they all have time to put their story together. And that's exactly what they're doing.
You bring them down to the station, you don't have because the next day there's another meeting with all the cops and all of the families.
Like the parents and the kids are literally getting together to put their story together.
And this time, guess whose house they're at? It's the suspect whose mother is dating the idiot cop.
Exactly.
Give me a break.
But they're doing it in plain sight because everybody thinks they're going to get away with it. Everyone's like, nobody wants to put these kids in jail.
Right.
Nobody cares about the Mexican guy we just got.
No way, because eventually we learned that they're like the teenagers and their parents are all terrified about how badly Luis is doing in the hospital. Not because they're sad for Luis and his family, not because they have any conscience about what happened, because of what it would mean if he dies.
Exactly.
So they're trying to come up with a plan to avoid any repercussions for what they did.
And this is where they come up with the story that Lewis instigated the fight. There was no booze, no slurs, no kicking. They're all just putting it together. And I truly believe that none of them think that anybody's going to question the story because they've got the cops. They've got the cops who are going to be taking their statements.
And remember, this is happening at a responding officer's girlfriend's house.
Yes.
Just to be clear. Like, it can't get any worse. It
And,
cannot be overstated how fucked up that is.
And the DA is saying
they could have filed charges that night. They didn't do that. And they let these boys have multiple opportunities to try and coordinate their story.
And intentionally left the boys to coordinate their story.
And the DA is trying to work with the cops on this, and they're being stonewalled.
Girl, Home Chef is back. I gotta tell you, I thought it being the summer would make things easier, like we'd have more time. We do not.
No.
And I gotta tell you, we 100 million% rely on our Home Chef to like make sure that we have like a good, delicious, satisfying, healthy dinner every night.
Yeah, because sometimes like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock really sneaks up on you. And then you're like, what am I going to do for dinner? But now with Home Chef, you can have a fridge full of food, full of meals, and you have options. So not just options in like what you're eating, but how you're preparing it.
Yes.
So they have the ones where everything is like pre-measured and you can cook in like 30 minutes, or they have ones that you can throw in the oven. They also have ones, if you're really short on time, throw in the microwave.
Yep. And let me tell you this. Users of leading meal kits have rated Home Chef #1 in quality, convenience, value, taste, and recipe ease. And I gotta tell you, we've used a lot of them. Even I can cook these. Like, even I can open the fridge and be like, Daisy, we're having the chicken parmesan for dinner tonight, and I can do it.
Yeah. And they have over 30 options a week.
Yes.
Tons of variety in the style of meals, but also in dietary needs. So they got get you covered there.
It's also super economical, fam. Home Chef customers save an average of $86 per month on groceries. And like, don't even get me started about like the ordering out.
Oh my God, please. And you're not wasting anything because you're getting sent exactly what you need.
Yeah, we love it, fam. You know it. And for a limited time, Home Chef is offering our listeners 50% off and free shipping for your first box, plus free dessert for life.
Arguably the best part.
No question.
Go to homechef.com/TCO.
That's homechef.com/TCO for 50% off your first box and free dessert for life.
Homechef.com/TCO.
Must be an active subscriber to receive free dessert. My favorite thing to do is eat that free dessert as you're putting the Home Chef away, like when the box first comes.
I mean, come on.
Right. So the district attorney's got to get the police reports. It takes 3 weeks for the police reports to materialize. And they're shocked when they finally get them because remember Ariel Garcia? She's the one who identified Brian Scully as the individual who threw that fatal kick because everyone is saying, we don't know, there was no kicking. Somebody saw it, somebody identified it, and it's been in this police report for at least 3 weeks.
But we learned that's actually not true. It wasn't Brian Scully. It was Brandon Pekarsky,
right,
who, by the way, is the cop's girlfriend's kid.
Right.
The responding officer's girlfriend's kid is the one who actually delivered the fatal blow because, I'm just going to break this down. Also, they just keep using those horrible pictures of the cops.
I know.
It's so good. Like, I see what you're doing. I love and appreciate you. Thank you. So, Brandon Pekarsky is the kid of the woman who's dating the cop, right?
Yeah.
So he's like the most privileged out of all the kids.
Yeah.
One of the other kids, like his family is rich and really big in the community, and the other kid is whatever.
Yeah.
So Brian Scully is the most vulnerable of the privileged white kids regarded as gods and heroes in this town.
Yes.
So the cops are going to try to pin it all on Brian.
But he is also named. Like, Brian is, like, Ariel must have gotten it wrong because he is also named. But yes, they are saying, and this actually works against the cops because the DA, they bring in Brian Scully and they're like, they're trying to make you take the fall for this. So you have an opportunity here to flip. They need somebody on the inside to say there were racial slurs, we had been drinking, he didn't start the fight, and we were kicking.
Yeah.
And they're like, be the hero because otherwise you're going down for this.
I also just want to say, like, everything about how these people think in general is just so, like, evil and shameless. Like, no regard for human life at all. Like, oh, like, a Mexican died, well, he shouldn't have been here anyway.
Right.
Or, like, make Brian the scapegoat for no accountability.
Yeah.
And is a single adult in the room appalled that this happened?
I don't think so. And in addition to that,
they had protests and shirts made up "Free the Boys," something like that.
They had a pretty good support system behind them. People wanted to push past it. They wanted to see us still play football. We wanted to see the year go on.
Is anyone scared that their sons are capable of this behavior?
Exactly.
Does anyone give a shit and maybe try to
Exactly.
get ahead? Like, even in the most cynical way.
Yeah.
To be like, we got to get you help.
But this is what I'm saying. I say this all the time on this podcast, that if Daisy was one of these kids, I'd be like, you fucking tell me what happened and we are going down to the you know what I mean?
Because maybe the kids are just acting out what they hear at the dinner table every night.
But the thing about it is that it's corruption on top of corruption on top of corruption, because these kids have been brought up to believe that they can do whatever they want.
Right.
But also the police are protecting their own kids within the system.
Right.
So you know what I mean? Even if there was one of the kids who could do the right thing, they still can't go to the cops because the cops are going to protect their own within the program.
Which is exactly what's happening.
Right.
So they're trying to pin it all on Brian Scully, who was 100% there and beating this guy, like, no question. But he's the least privileged of all the privileged kids.
I just want to point out, like, maybe like there's a mafia parallel here or something. Like, this is why corruption doesn't work, because it's not like there's the people doing the corruption over here and everybody else. There's corruption within corruption within corruption. So you're never guaranteed to be the winner when you're doing the wrong thing on purpose.
Oh, I was like, corruption works all the time, girl.
But what I'm saying is, like, in this instance in particular, the kids who believe that they live in a system where they can do no wrong,
sure, of course,
are still one of them's still gonna be the fall guy. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, it's like you end up dead and it's your best friend who did it.
Right.
Like, you can't trust anybody.
Exactly.
So, like, Brian Scully was like, oh, I'm cool because I'm besties with the guy whose mom is dating the cop. But, like, no, Brian, you're not, because you're the weakest link or whatever. So there you go.
Yeah.
But anyway, Brian gets a lawyer and his lawyer's like, girl, you got to talk to the cops.
Because Brian walks out of the cop. He's like, fuck you. If you don't believe me, I'm fucking out of here. The lawyer calls back in 20 minutes. We'd actually love to talk. We've got a story to tell.
Especially because the lawyer's like, look, if we can prove that the cops are framing you.
Exactly.
Now, it's a weird thing to say because he was absolutely part of this murder.
Yes.
Like, this is very layered.
Yeah.
But I think the lawyer's like, I could probably get you a deal deal if we can uncover police corruption in
Yes,
this town.
yes. And honestly, get the guy who did the fatal kick.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Even though Brian was 1,000% part of this
Totally.
beating.
And it's like none of them are any less culpable in my eyes than any of them. You
And
know?
Brian Scully is the kid who's at the center of the documentary from 2012, and he's the quote I'm going to tell you about later. Because it's kind of unbelievable.
Yeah.
So Brian says, all right, you want the truth? I'll tell you the truth. We were all antagonizing Luis Ramirez. We were screaming at him. This is America. Go back to Mexico. Also, this is 2008, by the way.
Yeah.
He admits that Luis was being kicked while he was on the ground. He admits it was not self-defense. And the only other teenager that'll talk to the cops is Colin Walsh.
Yeah.
So he's like not the kid whose mom is dating the cop. He's not the rich kid whose family has a lot of pull. He's, again, like the least, one of the other like lower privileged of the privileged kids.
And he's the one who threw the first punch. He's the one that threw the
Yes.
punch that landed Luis on the ground in the first place.
Right. So Colin threw the first punch. Luis is on the ground. And it was Brandon, the one whose mother is dating idiot
Brandon
cop.
Pekarsky, yeah.
He's the one who kicked Luis when he was knocked out, essentially killing Luis, like the fatal kick, they call it. So July 25th, 2008, it's 2 weeks after the murder, not the fight, but the murder.
Yeah.
The DA's office files charges based on the truth. There was booze. It was a hate crime. There was kicking.
Yes.
And even though this makes national news, like the boys were still hometown heroes. Like the racism is alive and well.
It was very interesting to see that like there was national attention and sympathy for Luis Ramirez, but that back at home,
there was a huge divide in the community with, taking sides. They didn't do it. They didn't mean to. It was a fight. I feel like a lot of people wanted to kind of take the boys' side.
It went too far by accident.
He was undocumented anyway, so what does it matter?
Boys being boys.
Ugh.
Yeah.
So I was curious what happened to that football season.
Uh-huh.
So I Googled it.
What did happen?
I found the roster.
Oh my God.
So
they even play. I mean, I guess they've got like C-string.
I didn't think they're like the 4 best players on the team is what we're told.
Yeah.
So, oh my God, you're going to laugh so hard.
Oh God.
So, because this all happened the summer of 2008.
Uh-huh.
So I found the roster from the 2008-2009 season. None of these 4 guys played. The first game was played on August 29th, 2008. Right in the middle of all of this, Luis was murdered on July 12th.
Oh, wow.
So like 6 weeks later, the season starts. They lost their first 8 games.
Oh my God.
31-0, 28-0, 41-0, 26-0.
Yeah, they're playing all the freshmen. I'm out there. They got the Patrick of their school playing the football game.
Like shutouts almost every game. They lost one game 32-14. I guess not bad. But they lost.
But don't you get like 7 points at a time or something?
You do.
You know what I mean?
But their first 8 games, almost all shutouts, which like sucks for the kids on the team who aren't murderers.
Right.
But I am glad that all of the angry racists, like, they're unhappy about this.
Yeah,
So
well,
that makes
and
me
like,
happy.
I was thinking, I love knowing too that this did fuck up all their lives. You know what I mean? Like, it's not badly enough, but none of them got to go on to be football stars.
Yeah.
You know?
I spent way too long stalking them today. So
Really?
I have updates for
Oh
you.
my God.
So April 2009, the trial starts, and there is a very real concern about what this could mean for other non-white people in this community.
Yeah, and not only, so we've got the town protesting the trial, and then we've got the national civil rights groups are there protesting the town.
Right.
Like, this is horrible.
Like, if the kids go free, this is a very dangerous precedent because this is a hate crime and a murder. So it really will show the racists that they have something to
Free
say
reign.
and that they're valid and whatever. So while there are like these protests happening, again, like protesting the town, which I love, the kids are like laughing and goofing off in the courtroom. They think it's hilarious.
Crystal, the fiance of Luis, is like...
During the trial, we had to listen to the 911 tapes, and I had to listen to how serious his injuries truly were, and that was very difficult for me. And then Brandon Pekarsky and Derek Dunchak acted like they weren't even sorry. They sat there and they giggled and they goofed off in the middle of the trial. It seemed like nobody truly cared.
It's one of those things, it's more to what you were saying before. Like, if you're the parents of the kids that are accused of murder that are laughing and giggling through the trial.
Aren't you terrified?
Aren't you absolutely terrified?
Like, my son's a psychopath. What do I do to help him?
Yeah.
Especially because, like, the 2 kids on trial are Brandon and his mother is dating the responding officer, Officer Dingbat. And then Derek, his parents are rich and have pull in the town.
Yeah.
So they're the most privileged of the 4. They're acting like it. The other 2 teenagers, Brian and Colin, they testify against them. So Brian's the one who flipped, and Brian was also the one the cops were trying to pin it on. And Colin was like, co-sign everything Brian said.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty quick trial. It's May 2nd, 2009. The verdict comes. And they are not guilty on all of the serious charges. They're only guilty of simple assault. And it was an all-white jury, by the way.
Oh, really?
Of course it was.
And they say these two assholes got 18 months for killing a guy.
Like
18 months for murder.
AJ, the lawyer's like, oh, it was surreal. The cheering,
yes,
the clapping.
And we see some of it. Like we see like spectators leaving the courtroom being like, they got it right.
They're like galvanized.
Yes.
And like, you should all be ashamed of yourselves. Like someone was beaten to death only because he was Mexican.
Yes.
Like, this is a fucking hate crime. These teenagers beat someone to death. Like, you're a fucking crazy person too.
Yes.
Someone who's like, they're like jumping down the stairs. There's so much energy. That person
right.
Like, they got it right. They got it right. Like, you're an insane person.
This person has children. He was kicked in the head to death.
Because he was Mexican.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. So they got 18 months for murder, but the FBI gets wind of this and they're like, yeah, we don't think so. No.
Girl, our place is back. Look, these are those like beautiful pots and pans that like not only do they look good, they get rid of the hidden dangers of traditional nonstick cookware, which you might not be aware of, fam, but it's a real thing.
Yeah, these like forever chemicals, meaning they are forever.
Yes.
They are in so many other companies' nonstick cookware. Like you'd be amazed.
Yes. So if you care about your health, fam, switching to toxin-free cookware is the only decision. I'm telling you, do it. You're going to love it.
And the Our Place 4-piece cookware set is the best way to overhaul your kitchen. It used to be like, oh, you have to buy like a 12-piece, 18-piece set. No, this 4-piece cookware set, it's multifunctional, it's high performance, it's space-saving, and no more forever chemicals.
Exactly. Also, buying the set saves you a ton of cash, fam. You save $150 on the cookware set with the bundles and save option.
Yeah, I love it. It makes me feel like really fancy. It makes me feel like I'm a really big-time chef where I'm like, oh, are the eggs just slipping off of the pan and there are no toxins involved? I got this.
Yeah. So be like Jillian and be a top chef. Stop cooking with toxic cookware and upgrade to Our Place today. Visit FromOurPlace.com/TCO and use code TCO for 10% off site-wide.
With a 100-day risk-free trial, free shipping, and returns, you can experience this game-changing cookware with zero risk.
And if you like compliments, this is perfect for you. People are going to love it.
Well, that too, obviously. And then you could be like, oh, there are no toxins and I saved $150. Are you interested? And they'll say yes.
So the FBI, Alan, he's been with us throughout. And once again, we're doing a parallel investigation, just like the Susan Smith case. And he said they were looking into Luis Ramirez's death, but also the police corruption.
And I'm like, let's fucking go.
Thank the Lord.
So this means that the FBI is now re-interviewing everyone.
Yes.
Suspects, witnesses, the racist town people, but they're also interviewing the cops.
Yes.
So everyone's like, well, we're not in Schuylkill anymore, Toto. Like, the fucking FBI is here.
What I love about this, too, is like they are able to tell the cops in real time incriminating shit the cops didn't know. So that guy, Eddie Nye, he said that he told the cops where the killers were. And the cops were like, nobody told us. We had no idea. It is recorded on the 911 call. So just to be clear, Eddie Nye called 911. You hear him talking to 911 saying, the killers are running away. They're running away. Then the cops pull up. He's still got 911 on the phone. He's telling the responding officers, the killers are right over there. Go get them.
The Shenandoah police claimed that when they reached the scene that they didn't know where the participants in the assault were.
We were able to show that Eddie and I had in fact told the two officers on duty that night where the suspects were at. Unbeknownst to the police officers, their conversation with Eddie and I got recorded onto the 911 recording line.
They didn't know that Eddie telling them was recorded on the call. And you hear the 911 officer being like, are you talking to the cops? You're talking to the cops? Okay, I'm going to get off the phone so you can talk to the cops.
Right. Like, for some insane reason, these fucking dingbat cops didn't know that this was recorded, or they didn't think that, like, what they said would be picked up on the dispatch line.
Yeah.
And
because remember,
was.
the cops didn't go pick up the killers, even though they knew where they were. They gave them days and days and days to get together with their parents and them, the cops, to work out their story.
I also want to say, these witnesses are awesome, but there's so many of them.
Yeah.
And you just told a story where 50 kids watched one girl beat up another girl on the quad.
Yes.
This beating was so bad that in a town full of racists, there were enough people calling.
Yes.
That this all comes down to the witnesses and what they said and how they acted.
Totally.
Think about that.
Yeah,
There's
totally.
a whole fucking Kitty Genovese, right? Witness. Like,
Yeah.
witnesses don't always speak up, and these people did. That's how bad it was.
And we should point out that, like, not all Shenandoahans, right? Like,
Sure.
a lot of them are horrified by what happened here.
Sure.
A lot of them, I think, saw something in themselves and are revolted by the racism in their town.
Good.
You know?
Good.
Yeah, like Eileen, Eddie, you're good. You're the good ones.
But this gets even more fucking ridiculous because the FBI plays this 911 call for Lieutenant Bill Moyer. And
Yeah.
he's like, oh my God, that's me.
He's like, girl, that's me.
He's like fangirling at himself. He's like, that's my voice. How did you guys get my voice?
As soon as he's like, oh my God, that is me being told exactly where the killers are. The FBI's like, so you knew where they went. He's like, no.
He goes, yeah.
Unfortunately, I didn't know where they went. So he acknowledges that that's him being told where the killers are. And then he says to the FBI, no, I didn't know. He just sticks to his story.
And they're like, well, the good thing about it being recorded is that we can play it for you as many times as you need to.
You're
It's
just
right there.
lying to it. No,
Well, FBI.
That is me. Unfortunately, I'm not being told where the killers are.
And you're like, what?
Yeah.
So FBI Allen says something that I think a lot of people need to hear.
When law enforcement breaks the law, they're just another criminal. When you pin a badge on, you're not authorized to commit criminal activity based on the fact you're a police officer.
You're not authorized to commit criminal activity based on the fact that you're a police officer.
Right.
It's amazing we need to slow down on this.
And
but
I do love here, too, that the FBI says we could have indicted Brian Pecarsi and Darren Donchak with the cop. We could have made this one case, but they were afraid that Luis's story would have been lost and gotten harder to tell, which would have made it less likely to get a conviction for the players. And so they tried them separately. They tried the cops and the players separately.
Yeah, but when he says that, he does a hand gesture that would make Artie Bucco proud for my Sopranos people. He's like, so we did it separately. Artie Bucco goes, can you wrap your mind around this? You know, like, can you get your arms around this one? Or he goes, expand your horizons. And then he goes, could you wrap your arm? But when he goes, so we did it separately. And I'm like, thank you for the arm gestures. Loving you very much.
Oh, my God.
So when they charge the teenagers, they focus on the hate crime aspect.
Yeah, they're not going to retry them for the murder.
Right. So it's October 14th, 2010. They try the teenagers, and the verdict is guilty.
Yeah. And they literally get them. They are guilty of violating Luis's civil rights because that's all they could really try them for.
And Brandon Pekarski and Derek Donchak are sentenced to 9 years in federal prison for this, for the hate crime.
You're going to tell me how much time they actually did.
Yeah, I think 9 years is nothing for they beat a man to
No,
death.
I agree, but I'm like, I don't want to hear they did 18 months.
Oh, they served like 6 years.
Okay. I mean, my fucking God.
Yeah. Colin Walsh testified against the other two and received a prison sentence of 55 months.
Yeah.
Brian Scully, the original scapegoat, I guess, pleaded guilty in juvenile court to aggravated assault and other charges. This is where it gets really fucking bad. Bill Moyer, the one who's like, oh my God, girl, that's me.
The cop.
He is convicted in federal court of lying to the FBI and sentenced to 3 months in prison.
3 months.
Officer Jason Hayes, the one who was dating one of the mothers of the kids, is acquitted on all charges.
It's unbelievable.
And I was like, but how? Like, he had the biggest and clearest connection.
I know.
I don't understand.
I know.
He was dating that kid's mother.
Yeah.
The kid who was convicted dating her mother.
Like, holding the meeting at her house about let's get our story straight.
Like, they just this just ruined so many lives. Like, it really negatively impacted the community. Too.
Yeah,
Like,
of course.
And Eileen's like, it just made all the blatant racism even worse. And then people were mad that the kids were convicted. So then the racism was really coming out.
Right.
And it ends with Crystal saying that, like,
I think about every Sunday when we used to take the kids out to eat breakfast. I think about how he used to play with the kids. I think about how it was to just spend time with him, to just sleep next to each other. I think about all those things. I wish I could have him longer.
she's doing the best she can. She has
I
kids
know.
and like
raising the kids without their dad all these years later.
And so I have updates and they involve Crystal too.
Okay.
So there's, like I said, there's a documentary from 2012 about this case called Shenandoah. I watched it on Vimeo. Brian Scully is the focus of it. So he's the one who the cops tried to say did the fatal kick to Luis's head.
Yeah.
He admits, and he's like, we're in his bedroom. It's really, again, I skimmed it quick. I watched it on like 2.5 speed and slowed down when I needed to. So I wasn't watching 100. I didn't like take notes on it.
Yeah, of course.
But it's supposed, his parents are saying like how horrible this has been for him. He admits admits he didn't see Luis as a person that night. Like, he's sitting there in his bedroom.
Is he apologetic about that?
Yeah. So, Eileen, the witness, is here. Crystal, the fiance, is here. AJ, the lawyer, is in it.
Yeah.
The racist townspeople are there. But I learned that the corrupt cops were kind of clocked from the start. Like, it really showed the civil rights organizations coming. Crystal was at the helm of this as well.
Yeah.
But, like, Crystal had to deal with a lot of shit. They're chanting, "Go home, Crystal." They're like harassing her when she's just trying to like make her voice heard and get justice for Luis. Like,
oh my God.
They were coming for her. Like, a lot of xenophobic signs. Like, it was, you really get like, oh no.
Yeah.
Like, it was, because it was 2012. So,
Yeah.
like, there were still people, like, again, these, like, 70-year-olds, like, smoking inside with their beer, being like, and back in my day, we didn't have racism. And I'm like, oh, shit. But so, Brian, you're going to love this.
Oh,
Brian
God.
couldn't play football. Obviously, like, none of them could play football.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So he ends up on stage starring in Into the Woods.
Stop
He's
it!
the Prince. We, like, see him singing.
No, God, my whole thing here was like, can somebody go check out the drama club for 5 seconds?
He joined it.
Stop it.
Opening night is the night before the trial.
No way.
Drama
Where he's got to like be
drama.
the star witness.
Right. So this is what I was like, just wait. They ask him, the guy behind the camera, the director's like, could you have done this to a white guy? And Brian thinks about it. And he says, it wouldn't have gotten that far if he was speaking English and we could understand when he was saying stop. He says if it was someone we could understand and we could hear him say stop, stop, or scream, we would have stopped. I mean, we all have hearts, but we just couldn't understand what he was saying.
Oh my God.
But he's really, really sorry. And I'm like, what the actual fuck?
Oh,
Brian,
no.
like, oh my God. He literally says.
But you know what? That's why we make documentaries. Let people show you who they are. That's the whole point of this.
We all have hearts. We all have hearts. And if we just could have understood. I'm sorry. Is it
What I'm saying is that he's a monster. Like let him show himself to be a monster.
I'm sorry. Is it screaming in pain the universal
Of course.
language? I don't understand.
And I'm sorry. That's as if saying kicking him one time was appropriate. You know what I mean?
Right. And I kind of don't want to hear, well, you didn't watch the documentary close enough and you don't whatever. I mean, what else is there to say?
The violence is This is absolutely.
I slowed down on this.
He was beat up for being Mexican in their white town. Like that's like full stop.
It wouldn't have gotten that far if he was speaking English.
It's ridiculous.
Unfucking believable, right?
Yeah.
So other updates: Derek and Brandon, the two who were actually convicted, they're still really close.
Oh, good for them.
Brandon is now married. He's a murderer. Brandon is the one who had the final fatal kick.
Yes.
He's a murderer. He was released in 2017, married in 2023. Derek's in the wedding party.
Oh my God.
They're all like perfectly fine and living their lives. Like they're racist murdering losers, but like all things considered, like they're fine. There's a photo I found from 2020. So once Derek was out, he's like a firefighter now.
Uh-huh.
There's a photo of him, but there's like a big like blaze behind him. There's a photo of him in all his gear, like not all firefighters, like I get it. We all do. This photo won some like Shenandoah photo competition.
Oh my God.
And it says like Shenandoah firefighter Derek Donchak at the scene of a 3-alarm blaze, January 2020. And I'm like, can we vet? Can we not give an award to a fucking... I know that, like, the photographer is not her subject. Like, I get it.
Right.
But, like, this guy's a fucking murderer, and he looks like a fucking hero.
Oh, my God.
So they're all, like, just fine.
But,
the photos of the wedding party are fucking disgusting.
It's why none of them will ever leave this town. Like, you know what I mean?
I thought, for sure, names changed.
No.
Moving far, far away.
No, they're heroes in this town.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
No,
that jury's got blood on their hands as far as that town is concerned.
Right. Like, I don't dox people no matter what, again, unless you're a Nazi, which I guess arguably these people are, in so many words. But I found the photos. I found the photo of Brandon, like, when he was, like, out. Like, the first photo he posted, and the comments were like, congratulations, best day ever. We missed you.
Like on Instagram?
On a social media network. Not on Instagram. He's private on Insta.
Oh, my God.
But on a social media platform. All of these photos are here. They're all tagged.
Yeah.
They're all, like, out there living their lives.
Oh, my God.
So there we go.
Oh. Girl, we did, what's it called?
It's called Murder Under the Friday Night Lights. This is season 1, episode 4. It's called Game of Privileges.
Oh my God. Well, fam, we love you. Thanks for going with us on this journey. Check out the Patreon, join the Facebook group, look at our social media. If you want to see like the funny videos, it's True Crime Obsessed podcast on all the platforms.
Yeah, and donate to some of those causes or like send like the links I said earlier, like send them around if someone needs them. Like,
and just, go out in the world and be kind.
that too.
That's what we ask.
Seems like a whole lot to ask today. We did met Susan Smith before we did this.
I know.
Like,
It's been a lot today.
I almost dare a Nazi to cross my path today. I'm feeling punchy.
I want to see
punchy
you not.
in all senses of the word.
I want to watch you knock out a Nazi. I think that'd be great.
You know what?
That's kind of what humanity needs right now.
As someone said, don't tempt me, Frodo.
I know.
I have to find a way to do it.
All right, we love you, fam.
We love you.
Bye.
Bye.